Alrighty, and we're going. So welcome everyone to the October 2018 TDL Member Forum. We are so glad you're here and have joined us today to learn about some updates on the work TDL has been doing over the past month. I'm Courtney Mumma, Deputy Director of TDL, and I'm joined here today by Leah DeForest, our Communications Strategist. TDL Director Christie Park will not be joining us today as she is traveling to Nevada for the NDSA Digital Preservation Conference where she'll be presenting. So a couple of reminders for you as we start the meeting today. If you have questions, please feel free to use the chat window at any time, and we'll be able to answer those questions towards the end or pause and answer them. You also have the ability to download the slides, as always, in the file pod in the bottom of the screen. As I mentioned, we are recording this, so you'll be able to access this on the TDL YouTube channel later on. I'm going to start today with some service updates, and Leah will then cover some updates about what's going on in the TDL and digital library community, followed by some announcements from our members Ed Warga and Marcia McIntosh. We will end the forum with an open floor for Q&A. We've got a packed agenda today, so we'll try to get through it so we have plenty of time for questions at the end. So I'll begin with my TDL updates. The first thing, as I mentioned, Christie is at the NDSA Digital Preservation Conference this week because this week is the annual DLF Forum and NDSA Digital Preservation Conference. DLF is happening as we speak, and so if you're interested in following along, they're very active on Twitter. Tends to be a very active social media conference. Christie is presenting tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Central Time on distributed digital preservation. And also, here's a little teaser. Stay tuned for an important announcement about TDL and NDSA later this week. I wanted to update everyone here on DSpace Upgrades. I won't go into too much detail, but please do reach out if you need any more detail than I provide today. So the update is that, excuse me, that TDL has substantially completed upgrades to our TDL-hosted DSpace repositories with just a couple of exceptions. We are continuing to troubleshoot a few minor issues related to the upgrade in specific repositories. We want you to know that if you're experiencing any problems at all, please let us know by contacting the help desk as soon as possible when you experience those issues. This time around with this upgrade, we experienced greater instability than expected because of a choice we made to use Amazon S3 storage for the DSpace asset store. While DSpace 6 ostensibly provides support for use of S3, we found over the first 2 weeks following upgrades that users were experiencing intermittent problems with uploading and downloading files, which we had not found during our testing phase. So we assessed that these problems were at least partially due to insufficiencies in the DSpace code related to S3 that we hadn't previously found and hadn't been found elsewhere either. So we've migrated each repository asset store back to local storage for now, which is exactly how things were set up with DSpace 5. The TDL DSpace users group has been discussing differences between versions 5 and 6, and we encourage users to attend the upcoming meeting to share their experiences. Leah will give you more information about that meeting when she talks about the community section in the forum today. Another exciting conclusion last Friday, the Vario open source community led by TDL and the Texas A&M University developers are in active development on Vario version 4, which includes major new functionality like the ability to establish multiple workflows for different campus constituencies like PhD students versus undergrads, and greater support for controlled vocabularies. The first Vario community sprint just completed as of last Friday. Our community sprints are a new effort to get greater engagement from open source users and developers outside of the TDL membership. During this first sprint, we engaged 5 participants with documentation and testing, and 1 developer outside of the TDL community as well. So while small, it was our first, and the effort did inform us of willing participants who we were not aware of before, and gave our new TDL engineer, Frank Smutniak, his first chance to launch a test environment as well as complete a developer deployment documentation that can be useful in future sprints. We'll use what we learned this time to build our second community sprint in the coming months. As many of you know, I was co-chair of the program for this year's 15th annual IPRES conference in Boston, hosted by MIT and Harvard. In addition to making sure everything ran as smoothly as possible in what ended up being the largest IPRES ever, with just over 400 attendees, and making sure that the sessions were collegial and engaging, I was also able to serve on a panel discussing the Digital Preservation Declaration of Shared Values, where the audience contributed valuable feedback towards the next version. Highlights of the conference for me included an excellent workshop on the Preservation Storage Criteria document, which is currently in its 3rd phase and taking feedback. There were multiple activities and gatherings towards updating the NDSA levels of preservation. There was a really great session with these amazingly creative digital preservation games. That's what these pictures that you see are. These are actually games that were created by IPRES folks, all on digital preservation topics. It was really fun. And there was candy. And there was a session on machine learning to select email for preservation. That was really exciting and interesting. I'm happy to share about any part of the program, just ask. All the proceedings will be open and online, including the papers, posters, games, and graphics, as well as the slides and the shared notes documents, which we had for every session. And they're all in OSF. The Texas Data Repository also had the opportunity to attend and present a poster at the Texas Advanced Computing Center's Symposium for Texas Research, also known as TAXTER, on September 20th, where we heard really interesting research presentations about things like how to cool rockets, finding new planets, and using Twitter to understand the weird regional dialects all across Texas. And these are, of course, all researchers that are using TAC to do their data work. Jessica Tree-Logan was also there from UT Austin, and we both presented the poster titled Texas Data Repository, a Case Study in Collaboration. We've also offered this poster for reuse for any of our TDR steering committee members who want to take it to a conference. They can print it out themselves. We've got a shared resources spot on our Confluence. Another reminder, PASIG registration is open, and this year it's bilingual, English and Spanish, all live translated for the first time ever, something we're very proud of. It's going to be at the Library of El Colegio de Mexico, and the steering committee are really excited that Mexico City is the location for this. It's the first time it's been in Mexico City. It'll be in February from the 12th to the 14th. We're really thrilled to connect with colleagues in such a vibrant and culturally rich city, and hope that many of the Texas Hispanic serving institutions and other Texas institutions will represent Texas well there. PASIG, if you're not familiar with it, is dedicated to advancing the practice of digital preservation and archiving. It generally brings together practitioners, industry experts, and researchers to share their experience on how to put preservation and archiving into practice. So it's very practice-focused. If you have an interest in digital preservation and want to be part of this great community, register now. Space is limited due to the location. Another reminder to please register for Archivematica Camp. This is for Archivematica users at all levels, and then TDL members, of course, receive that early bird rate at any time during the registration period. We want to thank our members at the University of Houston for hosting this, and also Artifactual Systems, the creators of Archivematica, for their help in organizing the camp. You can find all the information and the agenda at this link here. And now I'm going to hand over to Leah for a community update.
Hey, thanks, Courtney, and good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. First up, let me get to my slide. I want to remind you to visit the Archivist of Central Texas for the Austin Archives Bazaar on Sunday, October 28th from 2 to 6 in Austin. At the bazaar, you can discover films, photographs, documents, maps, video games, and more held in the incredible archival collections here in Austin. You can also hear speakers discuss their experiences in the archives, take a photo in the old-timey photo booth, watch the Archives Peep Show, record a story about Central Texas in the oral history booth, play games, and share beers with like-minded history-loving locals. Speakers this year will include Dahlia Jones and Jacqueline Carter from the To and Fro podcast, and Mark Morrow and Billy Driver from the television series Strangetown. There's more speaker details and schedules, and this is a free, family-friendly event, so visit the Austin Archives Bazaar website, and TDL is sponsoring this event. We'll be there, and we hope to see you there too. Okay, starting in November, TDL and the Texas Data Repository Steering Committee are presenting a new webinar series which will showcase topics in research data management and will be hosted by Dataverse experts in academic libraries throughout North America. And it'll feature presentations from the Odum Institute, the University of Virginia Libraries, MIT Libraries, the University of Toronto Libraries, and Carnegie Mellon University. This series is going to kick off November 13th at 3 p.m. with Amber Leahy, University of Toronto Libraries, who will discuss recent grant funding and new features in Dataverse in the coming year. And each of these webinars will have a live Q&A to follow. All these webinars are free and open to anyone who's interested, but registration is required, and you can sign up at tdl.org. Okay, this is exciting. TDL is so excited to announce the Texas OER Summit. Academic librarians, faculty, and administrators with an interest in open educational resources are invited to attend a strategic planning summit to consider OER at a statewide level. We hope to develop a set of shared goals and strategies that can be implemented across the state. TDL is co-sponsoring this event along with the Texas State Library and Archives Commission. The OER Summit will take place November 15th and 16th at the University of Texas at San Antonio. So with this, registration is free, but the number of attendees will initially be capped at 2 per institution. And the library deans and directors will designate representatives who will attend the summit. Excuse me. Sorry, allergies. So information about this event and how to register has been distributed to the library deans and directors in Texas. And if you're interested in attending, please check with your dean. They'll let you know if you are designated to attend and register. And then for more information, you can also visit our website, and there's a link shared on the slide. Sorry, it's rainy and moldy. Okay, next up, there is a call for volunteers. We're excited to share this news that the HBCU Library Alliance and Digital Library Federation announced a 3-year authenticity project. This fellowship program is supported by an IMLS grant and will provide mentoring, learning, and leadership opportunities for 45 early to mid-career librarians from historically Black colleges and universities, as well as meaningful frameworks for conversations and collaborations among dozens of additional participants from both organizations from 2019 to 2021. The goal of this project is to build a more diverse, inclusive, collaborative, and cohesive next-generation digital library workforce, which is ready to work across types of institutions in building infrastructure of various kinds in service to a wide array of communities. And then in each year of the Authenticity Project, 15 fellows will be matched with 2 experienced library professionals, an established mentor from an HBCU, LA library, or with a strong background in HBCUs, and a conversion partner working in an area of the fellow's interest, ideally within a DLF member institution. Excuse me, guys, sorry. I'm sneezy today. So fellows will receive full travel, lodging, and registration expenses to the annual DLF Forum, which is going on right now, and learn at DLF workshops. So if you're interested in joining or learning more about this project, please visit the website linked above. Okay, to everyone's relief, I'm going to get off the mic for a second. And next up, Ed Warga, Digital Collections Librarian at Texas A&M Corpus Christi, has an announcement about the DSpace user group.
Oh, hello, good morning, everyone. This is Ed Warga from Corpus Christi. I'm speaking today on behalf of the TDL DSpace user group. Thanks to everybody who has joined the user group. We've had 2 great meetings so far, and our next meeting is Tuesday, October 23rd at 10 a.m. On Blue Jeans. We'll be having a big discussion about the topic of reporting statistics and metrics from DSpace repositories. We put out a call for agenda items and are looking for your input, questions, and suggestions. Feel free to add your agenda items right into the Google Doc agenda. I just posted that link in the chat for you all. As a reminder, anyone can join the TDL's DSpace user group regardless of their affiliation or membership with TDL. Feel free to forward an invitation to any of your colleagues working in digital repositories or who are DSpace users or just curious about DSpace. If you have any questions about the group or if you would like to join, feel free to contact info@tdl.org email and we'll be happy to help you. All right, thank you very much.
Awesome. Thanks, Ed. And then next up, the Vice Chair of our Conference Planning Committee, Marcia McIntosh, has an exciting announcement about TCDL.
We hope May 20th.
Marcia, I'm not sure we can hear you.
Oh no.
I think we can hear you, Marcia, but you just have to speak closer to the mic if possible.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. Thanks.
My apologies. Good morning. I'm happy to provide a few announcements on behalf of the TCDL 2019 Planning Committee. First off, save the date. It'll be held May 20th through the 23rd at...
We seem to have lost you again. Do you mind starting over? No. We seem to have lost you as soon as you started talking.
Okay. How about now? Can you hear me now?
That's good right there.
Okay.
Yes.
Hello. And, I'm happy to provide a few announcements for the TCL 2019 Planning Committee. First off, please save the date. It will be May 20th to the 23rd, 2019, of course, at the Commons Learning Center in Austin. And I'm pleased to announce that this year's keynote.
Am I the only? I'm so sorry to interrupt, but it's barely audible. It might work better to have Leah take over the announcement. I don't think that we're going to be able to hear you clearly.
Sounds good.
I'll sure take over for you, Marcia. I'm so sorry about that. She is such a trooper and joined us from the DLF conference. So thank you so much for giving it a shot, Marcia. Okay, so on behalf Try number 3. So we are so pleased to announce this year's keynote, Dr. Siva Vaidyanathan, Robertson Professor of Modern Media Studies at the University of Virginia, and author of The Googleization of Everything and Why We Should Worry, as well as Anti-Social Media, How Facebook Disconnects Us and Undermines Democracy. With Siva as our keynote, the theme of breaking down barriers is even more appropriate, focusing on the multiple ways that our work removes obstacles and builds connections between users, library collections, academic disciplines, and the public. So please save the date for TCDL 2019. We're going to be sending out a big announcement about this through email pretty soon, but we're super excited about this keynote and our theme. We have one more announcement, and again, just on behalf of the TCDL Planning Committee. This is new this year, something we're working on called a Leadership Academy. The committee is planning a special workshop for early and mid-career library and archive staff. And the workshop will be a full-day ticketed event that will be focused on building soft skills necessary for leading at all levels of the library and on cultivating a cohort of learners who seek a professional community for support and growth. Now, registration for this event will be separate from regular TCDL registration, but with discounted tickets offered to TCDL registrants, students, and of course, TDL members, and more information about the Leadership Academy coming soon. I think back to you now, Courtney.
Yes, and we have about 8 minutes left for questions, so I just want to thank again Marcia for that gallant effort, Ed for his announcement about the DSpace user group, and Leah, thank you so much for filling in there with the TCDL updates and for your community updates. We do have, again, 8 minutes left, so if you have a question, go ahead and pop it over there into chat, and we'll do our best to give you a good answer. And I will just pause here for a second while we wait for those questions. Leah, I was giggling muted because I'm sneezing over here too, so if you feel any better about your allergy attack.
I guess I feel only a little better in that, you know, you were off mic. Oh. I also wanted to throw in an announcement.
Joseph has a question about TCDL. Will the formal TCDL start on May 21st?
Looks like Lauren's going to type in a response.
I'll just go back to the TCDL slide. Yes, so the dates here on this slide, the 20th through the 23rd, then that's inclusive of the Leadership Academy. Is that correct, Leah?
That's right. The Leadership Academy will be May 20th. It'll be a separate day from the pre-conference. And yep, thanks, Lauren. The main conference days will be the 22nd and 23rd. So May 20th will be Leadership Academy, a full-day workshop. May 21st will be pre-conference. May 22nd and 23rd will be the regular conference days or main conference days.
Excellent, thanks.
We should have registration open and available hopefully by the end of this month. So keep an eye out for that. And our planning committee is working hard on getting our CFP ready to send out for submissions for proposals. I also wanted to make a note here. We're sending out our October newsletter in about a week or so, and we'll have some updates there too.
Thanks, Leah. Any other questions, folks? We've still got about 6 minutes left. I'll wait about another minute for your questions, and then if we don't have any more, we will call it. Question from the Texas A&M developers, our awesome Vario developers. Any thoughts on when the next Vario community sprint might happen? Christy and I haven't talked about exactly when we're thinking of doing that. It will probably not be until after the holiday season. We're looking probably sometime within the first quarter of 2019, but don't mark my words on that. We haven't solidified it yet. But we did learn a lot from this first one and really appreciate your support specifically. So everyone in the room there at Texas A&M, thank you again so much for supporting that. Even though we had a few participants, I still find it successful because we did learn a lot. Okay, I don't see anybody else typing questions, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off for today. And just once again, thanks everyone for coming. It's always great to have you here. Thanks so much for participating today. And I know we had a lot of updates today, so thank you for sticking with us. That was a longer forum than we tend to do. Alrighty, thanks everybody. Take care, and we look forward to talking to you again next month.